Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for the dailysheeple.com, and this, my friends, is a news shot, and it comes from McClatchy at their DC bureau, and they're saying that the FBI Russian influence probe is now looking into far-right news sites. My first thing I would have to ask is, what exactly is a far-right news site? That's number one. That needs to be defined exactly what far-right is. Hell, at this point, what is right and what is left? Can anybody tell me that there are distinct differences between the two? Because I got to tell you, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the similarities that there once were where, you had to find, here are the Democrats. They are pro-civil rights, cradle to grave socialism, all that kind of stuff. And then on the right side, you had, the conservatives. Even though, what's a conservative? Has anybody looked at what conservatives label, the label, and then look at what a conservative is? Does that reek of conservatism to you? Does imperialism go along the lines with conserving things? No, I don't think it certainly does. And so here is the FBI now looking into the whole Trump tie with Russia, which doesn't exist. Absolutely doesn't exist. However, now they're saying that perhaps Russia colluded with these far-right news sites to go ahead and influence the election. Yeah. Let me give you a little bit of this. It says federal investigators are examining whether far-right news sites played any role last year in a Russian cyber operation that dramatically widened the reach of news stories, some fictional, that favored Donald Trump's presidential bid. First of all, who cares? Number one, if that's the case and it was effective in getting Donald Trump elected, and that was that website's position, perhaps, first of all, let's also say that just because the website out there may do and mirror news stories doesn't make it a news source. Most of these sites are people that offer their opinions on current events. I myself included. I'm not one that goes in and really digs up anything new per se, going straight to, let me go and call this guy and get an interview with him on this current event right now. Very seldomly, if ever, am I trying to dig to expose things on the instant level. I'm more of a researcher that does things over time. And then I offer my opinions on the issues, this being one of them. And let me say, this is my opinion. If Russia put out a news story, let's say via RT, and that news story on RT is presenting something that I believe is credible, then I'm going to use it as a source because I believe it is and because it would be beneficial, or at least I think it would be beneficial for you to know. Because at the end of the day, my motives are, what can I do to help promote more awareness of what's going on so that you can make the best decisions for yourself or your family. Just like I would want. When I go out, there are certain places and people that I know that I can trust in order to get that, so that I can kind of put that picture together. And I'll tell you that I've seen more truth come out of Russia today than MSNBC, than CNN, than Fox News, than any of these domestic news agencies, especially considering the fact that Operation Mockingbird never ended, especially since the fact that our journalists belong to organizations like the Council on Foreign Relations that have everything to do with promulgating the United States' foreign policy stances. And here you have reporters within this organization that can go then take that, and knowing that the agenda of the CFR can go ahead and advertise. It's basically free advertising for this organization, and they can push propaganda, and then they can push these narratives out to you to either A, normalize it, get that shock value out of the way so that when something does happen, it doesn't really affect you and you remain apathetic, or just to basically cheerlead for their policies. Look, this is what happens, and this is a real problem. So when it comes to the news, when it comes to the FBI investigating far-right sites and all this stuff, it is nothing more than an attack on citizen journalism, and they're using RT, and they're using Russia, and they're using Vladimir Putin as an excuse. And we just can't accept that, folks. It's just unbelievable, and it should be illegal. Yeah. I'm Joe Joseph. This was the DailySheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below, subscribe to this channel, and our newsletter over at thedailysheeple.com. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.